This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? You're greatly appreciated. Come on in, you know the routine. Make yourself at home. This week, as I mentioned before in my last video, it's going to be a collection video for my Criterion Collection. For you few who probably aren't really familiar with Criterion Collection, Criterion Collection is an American home movie distribution company that focuses on licensing, restoring, and distributing important classic and contemporary films. Criterion serves films and media scholars, cinephiles like myself and probably you, and public and academic libraries. Criterion has helped standardize certain aspects of home video releases, such as film restoration, the letterboxing format. If you're not familiar with letterboxing, prior to letterboxing, there's something called pan and scan, where imagine taking the movie, taking the left and right part off, like cropping off the left and right, and kind of moving the video where the action is. It's called pan and scan. It was horrible. So Criterion had a lot to do with the letterboxing. Also, the inclusion of bonus features such as scholarly essays and documentary content about the films and filmmakers. Criterion most notably pioneered the use of contemporary tracks. Criterion has produced and distributed more than 1,000 special editions of his films in VHS, Betamax, Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray, and the new format 4K. Also in box sets. These films and their special features are also available via the Criterion channel, which I didn't know they had, a streaming service, which seems counterproductive since they're a physical media company. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink of a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. We're back at the Black Cave. Back at the Black Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. I'm not going to hem or haw. We're just going to jump into it. I have a cornucopia of Criterion Collection cinema. If there's not at least one movie here that you like, you probably don't like movies. So it should be at least one movie that you like. I'm going to go old school Criterion Collection. This is Laserdisc Criterion Collection. This is one of the first movies I've seen from Spike Lee. Kind of changed my view on how I see movies, not just as entertainment, more of an art form. Love the cinematography. 95% of the movies in black and white, with the exception of maybe a 2 or 3 minute clip that's in color. Fantastic soundtrack by his father, Bill Lee. If you haven't seen this, you definitely need to check it out. This needs to get a Blu-ray release. Not necessarily a 4K because it's all black and white though, but I'd love to see this again. I think it's only up on Laserdisc and DVD and VHS. My next one, classic, Menace to Society. You got O-Dog. You got Kane. You got Jada before Will. And for all you don't know what Laserdisc are, they're these album-looking type, vinyl-looking type disc, but they're for video. And they were so large, they had to go front and back. So I think this is the movie, and this extra one are like the supplement. So if you haven't seen Menace to Society, do yourself a favor. Fantastic urban 90s crime drama. Menace to Society. Criterion Collection. All right, now let's jump into the Blu-rays here. We have Spike Lee, the Spike Lee joint Bamboozled. Fantastic movie. You have, I think, Crispin Glover, the dancer. You have Michael Rappaport, basically playing himself, to be honest with you. And again, I say this a lot though, but I think it's true. A lot of these movies are, old movies are more relevant now than they probably were when they actually came out. Bamboozled. Something I haven't seen yet. This was recommended by Mr. Charlie Moore. I haven't seen this yet. I know this is very personal to him. I'm not gonna get into his business, but I know it's a movie close to him and a family member. So looking forward to watching this. It looks kind of like it might be a kind of a deep movie, so I might have to be in the right frame of mind to actually watch this. So, Criterion Collection, Black Orpheus. Next, we have a horror classic with the king of cool himself, Steve McQueen. You watch it, it's a little hokey though compared to the horror or actually the remake of The Blob though, but it's still entertaining watching old school horror. Especially Steve McQueen, since he's more kind of crime, cool drama movies. It's interesting to watch him do a horror picture, especially black and white when he was young, The Blob. Next, another favorite movie of mine, being John Malkovich. This is directed by Spike Jonze. I'm pretty sure Spike Jonze. Yeah, Spike Jonze. I first discovered Spike Jonze when he was doing rap videos. Two rap videos that stand out were videos he did by from the rap group Far Side. I think one was Drop, and the other one was Passing Me By. Pass Me By was kind of unique because I think half of the film he does where they're upside down. I love Drop because the majority of the video is actually in reverse. So being John Malkovich is actually about people finding a portal to John Malkovich's head. Very interesting, starring John Malkovich, John Cusack, and a very homely looking Cameron Diaz. So good watch, John Malkovich. Speaking of quirky movies here, you have the legend himself, Peter Sellers. You probably know him as the definitive Pink Panther. But being there, he kind of plays someone who's mentally challenged though, but for some reason people think he's brilliant, this brilliant businessman and politician. So very quirky, very interesting movie, especially how people perceive people who are not necessarily that intelligent as super genius. I can think of a few politicians, but I won't go there. Being there. Next movie, great movie, very unique. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, starring Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. And I hate giving spoilers away though, but the essence of the movie is you have a man who's aging backwards. So very unique. You have to see anything quite like this. Interesting, this is a double Blu Ray. You have the actual film and the supplements. What's interesting about Benjamin Button, a lot of these Criterion Collection, they don't have the actual insert. I don't know why, but I actually had to find, I think, 2 of these before I actually found one with the actual insert. So great Criterion Collection, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Next, we have a Wes Anderson movie. Wes Anderson is very quirky, and I have a couple more of these Criterion Collection by Wes Anderson. His, kind of hard to describe his movies. They're just surreal. I guess that's the best way. They're quirky. It's not like laugh out loud humor, but it's more like kind of smirky humor, kind of deadpan humor. So this is Luke Wilson, Robert Musgrave, and Owen Wilson. So you got the Wilson brothers. Bottle Rocket.
Next, my wife actually saw this a couple weeks ago. I wish she had told me I would have watched it with her. This is a young John Travolta. I think he's just barely removed, probably maybe 5 or 10 years from Welcome Back, Kotter. I'm guessing right now, just going off the top of the dome. But this is more of a drama thriller. He plays, I believe, this person who's hearing impaired, and he films a blowout. And I don't remember all the details though, but I know this was kind of a big deal back in the day. This was a Brian De Palma film. So back in the day when Brian De Palma was the shit as far as directing. I believe Body Double was another movie of his, not positive though, but great movie. Can't wait to watch this again. John Travolta, Blowout. Next one, I was actually just waiting to get this on DVD because I know DVDs, it was priced a little bit higher than I like to pay for DVDs. So I was just waiting. And all of a sudden I find out it's coming out on Blu Ray. So very happy that I waited, had a little patience and waited to come out on Blu Ray. You have the legendary Sidney Poitier and the legendary Harry Belafonte. May they both rest in peace. It's a Western. And what's interesting about this, and I've learned this from watching the extras and the supplements, they had a different director, and I guess the director wasn't going the direction that they wanted to, so Sidney started directing the film. So very interesting. I think, I know they have a little interview with Harry Belafonte's daughter, so that's interesting. Shed some light on the movie and the whole atmosphere around the movie. You have a young Ruby Dee in there, and she's kind of fine, to be honest with you, back then though. If you haven't seen this, great Western, Buck and the Preacher. Next one, amazing documentary, fantastic music. I love the music so much, I actually got the soundtrack. This one cut, Chan Chan Chan, fantastic. If you like Latin jazz, this is definitely a documentary. I believe the majority of this is in Spanish, so there's captions though, but it's not so much that it takes away from the visuals of the film. Great visuals of Latin America, these Latin jazz legends, really. So if you like jazz, specifically Latin jazz, you'll love this movie. And it's one of those movies I recommend if you have a stereo or a nice system, watch it through the system. You'll love it. Buena Vista Social Club. Next, we have Crumb. Very odd movie. This is about the cartoonist Crumb. I can't think of his first name though. But if you're of age, you probably remember the Keep on Truckin' logo. I don't know if I can find it in here. But he would produce this very surreal art. And he and I think his brother, they have some mental challenges, some social issues. Don't get into too many details, but they do some very strange things though. But very interesting, quirky documentary on the cartoonist Crumb. Next, back to another Wes Anderson, Adrian Brody, Owen Wilson again. I remember vaguely, I believe, two brothers go back to their father's funeral and kind of the adventures leading up to it and going back, I think, in their growing up in their relationship and rehashing that. So interesting Wes Anderson film. The Darjeeling Limited. Next, fantastic movie. Love the cover art on this. Lawrence, I think he might have been going by Larry Fishburne at the time. Deep cover, Lawrence Fishburne. God, I can't think of his. Jeff Goldblum. He actually plays an interesting gangster in this. There's this one famous line, and I don't want to go into details of when he asks the difference between a black man and you know what, and he gives the quintessential perfect answer. I love this movie. Deep cover, fantastic film. Next, we have Another Peter Sellers classic, Dr. Strangelove, How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I believe Tex Ritter's in here also. That's Tex Ritter. If you hear the lawnmower, that's my son mowing the lawn outside. Very quirky movie. I'm trying to think of another song. I think it's The Country That Roared or something like that. I think it's somewhat similar to this though. But Peter Sellers playing several different parts. I haven't watched this in a while, so I probably forgot most of the plot, but looking forward to watching this again. Dr. Strangelove. Next, I actually purchased this by accident. I thought this was there's another movie called Funny Games with, can't remember the actor's name, but one of the actors' name is Pitt. Is this the one? Is this it? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, this is the right one. Oh, no, this is not the one. I think this is the original, and I think this is all in German, I believe. I wanted the one in English, though. So I haven't watched this yet. I believe this is the original Funny Games. Next, we have The Game. Oh, this is probably one of my more favorite Michael Douglas, Sean Penn movies. I think Sean Penn is kind of an asshole though, but he does have some decent movies though. Sean Penn gets his brother Michael Douglas, the guy who has everything, this ultimate gift, and the gift is this game. And I don't want to get into details on the game though, but this is fantastic thriller action kind of movie. The Game. Next, we have a young Forrest Whitaker, Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. It was interesting. I just saw this YouTube. I guess a little story on Black Samurai, and I'm probably gonna kill these guys' name. I think one guy's name was Yazuka, and the other one was, oh God, I can't think of his name, Timotor or something like that though. But these are basically Africans who went to Japan and became samurai. And one of them stood like 6'3" or 6'4". They said he had the strength of 10 men. So I thought of that when I picked up Ghost Dog. Well, it just came to mind as I look at Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. So he's kind of like a modern day samurai / assassin. And it's a little odd because he's kind of on the heavyset side and he has kind of like the lazy eye, but it's a cool movie. So if you haven't seen this, definitely check out Ghost Dog, Way of the Warrior. Next, I love this movie. I love this movie, but it's so depressing to watch. Hoop Dreams. It's a documentary on two individuals. I think they start like at middle school, who have aspirations on playing professional basketball. And it just goes through pretty much, I think 5, 6, 7 years of their quest on becoming professional basketball players. And one part I just remember is just so disheartening. One of the guy's older brothers was supposed to be this huge star, and things didn't work out for him, and he's just like, yeah, I'm basically not shit anymore. And that just broke my heart. I guess I've been around so many individuals who had hopes of being professional athletes, and you see them crumble and they don't have any plan B. So this is kind of that kind of story though, but fantastic documentary. If you haven't seen this, watch Hoop Dreams. Next, In the Heat of the Night, the legendary Sidney Poitier, Rod Steiger. I believe they remade this for TV with Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker. Very powerful. I don't think this is the one where he's like, they call me Mr. Tibbs. I think that's the actual movie, Mr. Tibbs. I don't have that though, but another powerful movie, In the Heat of the Night, Sidney Poitier. Next, love this movie. The late Alan Arkin and Peter Falk. They remade this with Michael Douglas. Wasn't even close to being as funny though. The In-Laws. This is so quirky. Essentially, Peter Falk and Alan Arkin, their children are getting married. So I think of the weekend, they're trying to get the in-laws together so they can kind of meet. And that's where the adventures begin. If you haven't seen this, I'm not going to give the details though, but very funny, very quirky comedy. Love Peter Falk, love Alan Arkin in this, The In-Laws. Next, another Wes Anderson movie, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. You have Bill Murray in this. Bill Murray just being himself, Bill Murray. Another quirky Wes Anderson movie. This guy is like kind of like Jacques Cousteau, and it goes around pretty much his story. Again, I haven't watched this in a while, so I like to refamiliarize myself with the plot. But I remember this being a very quirky, interesting movie. Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Zissou? The Last Temptation of Christ, Martin Scorsese. This got a lot of buzz when it came out. This is the crucifixion of Christ, but from a different perspective, more putting him as more of a human as opposed to this supreme being. So got a lot of flack for that. Is this Willem Dafoe? Is that Willem? I believe it's Willem. Make sure. I think it's Willem Dafoe who plays Jesus Christ. So I love Willem Dafoe. He is a fantastic actor. You have Harvey Keitel, Barbara Hershey, you have Willem Dafoe. So, very powerful, controversial movie, Last Temptation of Christ. I showed this earlier in the month, Love Jones, Lawrence Tate, and the very lovely Nia Long, Black Love Story. I haven't watched this in a while either, so looking forward to watching this again. Love Jones. Next, we have the Melvin Van Peebles Essential Films, which I haven't watched any of these yet, and I'm looking forward to this. Very nice booklet here. Gives a little synopsis on the movies and a little bit about Melvin Van Peebles, one of the first black directors in Hollywood, like Gordon Parks, Sidney Poitier. I haven't seen this one, Don't Play Us Cheap. This actually looks like a play. Sweetback's Badass Song. And I'm not positive, but I believe Bill Cosby was one of the people that helped fund this movie. I believe he was having financial issues to have the movie made. I believe Bill Cosby helped him out with that. Sweet Badass Song. The story of a 3-day pass. Again, haven't watched any of these yet, though. I might pop one or two of these in this weekend. And I've seen trailers for this. Looks very interesting. This is a comedy, Watermelon Man. I know the basis of this as this man who has this wife and child, the white guy, he wakes up black. So, it's comedy. Can't wait to dig into this. The Melvin Van Peebles Essential Films. I'll get you back in here. Get in your home. There you go. Next, we have Mississippi Masala, another one I dropped this month. My wife said I've seen this, I don't remember this. The premise behind this, you have Denzel Washington, I believe, falls in love with an Indian woman, Indian, not Native American, but Indian from the country India. Mississippi Masala. My next pick is a Roman Polanski film, Rosemary's Baby. It's John Cassavetes, Mia Farrow. Yeah, Mia Farrow. Woody Allen's old chick. Great, kind of even-tempoed horror picture with John Cassavetes' actor who basically sells his soul to become a prominent actor. So, really kind of creepy 60s, 70s, early 60s, late 60s horror, Rosemary's Baby. Next, we have another Wes Anderson movie, The Royal Tenenbaums. This has, if I remember correctly, Danny Glover. Who else in here? Danny Glover, Gene Hackman, Angelica Houston, of course Ben Stiller. Angelica Houston's Jack Nicholson's old chick, Gwyneth Paltrow. So very quirky movie about the Tenenbaums. And this kind of upper middle class rich family, the Royal Tenenbaums. Next, another Wes Anderson movie, Rushmore. But this is about this kind of quirky high school kid who just kind of really doesn't fit in. Rushmore. Is this Wes Anderson? I'm pretty sure it's Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson, yes. Rushmore. Next, we have Scanners. I just watched the whole series. The last two, they just came out 4K on Vinegar Syndrome. I know the Scanners 2 and 3, I believe they have on Shout Factory. So I have the complete set, DVD and Blu Ray. So great sci-fi horror, directed by Dave Cronenberg, and nice. It's a little different than the normal Criterion Collection though. Nice slip cover, nice disc presentation. Scanners. And that's really why I like Criterion Collection's little extra stuff, the little geeky stuff. If I can get this back in there. There we go. For example, as I'm looking at this stuff, they have little geeky stuff like this, like a little Holy Bible and Russian phrases. So really cool stuff. Getting close to the end. Fantastic movie by one of the kings of Monty Python, Terry Gilliam, Time Bandits. Love this sci-fi fantasy. Haven't watched this in a minute either. Very Monty-Python-like. If you've ever seen Monty Python's Flying Circus, very Monty Python-like. Time Bandits. And my last Criterion Collection, Videodrome, another Dave Cronenberg's movie. This is with Debbie Harry. You might know her as Blondie, if you remember that far back. Just really weird movie about, if I remember correctly, these videos that somehow kind of suck you in. Great booklet. Videodrome. This is my complete Criterion Collection. If you like this, go ahead, smash the like. Give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone be safe. Deuces.